Hello, God's beautiful people. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. I am back, y'all. Oh, I know it's been a minute, but I have been spending some time with the Lord and just kind of going through. So, if this is your first time here, my name is Tara, and God uses me to bring forth prophetic messages to His children. And y'all, in all honesty, I'd had no plans to do this today, but God let me know that it was time. So here I am. And I have more than one word today. So I'm going to just jump into the first word. And God had been speaking to me a lot about spiritual gifts. Just where He is bringing forth, there's a lot of His children that are coming into their spiritual gifts. And a lot of times people try to make you feel like you're not chosen or you don't hear God. And then you kind of, people end up comparing themselves to other people and all of this different stuff. So, God was speaking to me about spiritual gifts. And what He was highlighting to me is that, first of all, don't let anybody diminish your gift. Okay, just because your gift is not like their gift, don't let anybody diminish your gift. Because He was showing me how there are some who operate, especially when it comes to operating in the prophetic, there are some who have known that they are prophetic from childhood. There are some who heard the voice of the Lord since they were kids. And then there's others who remain hidden, okay? And God was saying He is bringing forth His hitting vessels right now, His hitting vessels right now, because this is what's building the new remnant, okay? So there are some who are going to make you feel like because you haven't operated in the prophetic your whole life that your gift is not real. God, you carried it from birth. Let's just get that straight. You carried it from birth, okay? However, God chose to have you remain hidden until His appointed time. Now, I will say this, and God kind of broke this down for me. There are some people who are called to be prophets. And there are some He has called into other gifts, but you operate in the prophetic. I see a lot of people call me prophetess all the time. God didn't call me to be a prophet. He did not. He has absolutely told me what I will operate in, what my title will be. It's just not time for me to release that information, and I won't release it until God says so. But however, He does call me to operate in the prophetic. And He gave me an example. Y'all hear me talk about my friend a lot who passed away. And she didn't just operate in the prophetic. She absolutely was a prophet of the Lord. Like she had been operating in her gifts since she was a child. Like she was speaking into people's lives when she was a child. Okay. So she absolutely grew up with her gift. There are some you're just coming into your gift. Like I didn't come into mine until 2020. And it's crazy cuz growing up I always just knew things. I didn't know how I knew. I just knew things. And growing up where I grew up and how I grew up and in the church I grew up in, I never heard any prophecies in the church that I can remember. Yeah. Never heard the prophetic flows, never heard people operate in the prophetic that I can remember. Okay. Never had anybody to speak into my life until I was an adult to know that that was truly a thing. I did not know that. Okay. So, this is what God was telling me. And He explained to me, like I said, that there are some who operated in their gifts from childhood, but then and those who operated in their gift from childhood, they had all those years to mature into their gift. Okay. And this is for those that you are coming into your gifts that God has given you, he said, you don't spoon feed a baby steak. Okay. You have to grow into being able to consume certain foods. Okay. Just like in the physical, in the spiritual, God says it is the very same. As we mature in him, we will grow in our ability to operate fully in our gifts and to be able to combat the enemy fearlessly. Enemy meaning anything and anybody that tries to come up against who God called you to be. So I'm here to encourage you. Don't get discouraged. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Your walk is different. Don't let people tell you that you don't hear the voice of the Lord. Don't let people try to diminish what God is doing in your life. Just know that he's maturing you. And the more you grow in him, the more you're going to grow in your spiritual gifts. And like I said, a lot of us, you know, get the backlash, but that's okay. Say what you want to say. I've even had people come up against the name of my channel, and that's fine. You can say what you want to say, but I didn't pick it. God did. And I asked God, I'm like, why would I use my career title in that? And God told me, because that's your ministry. That is your ministry. That's who I called you to be. See, everybody ain't headed to the pulpit. Most of us are going out into the world. Most of us are going into the workplace. Most of us are going into grocery stores and alleyways and all the places that the pulpit people won't go. Okay? Because, see, they preach to a certain flock all the time. But God is saying, no, I didn't call everybody to the pulpit. He didn't call Jesus to the pulpit. Jesus went from place to place. So understand, don't let anybody diminish your gift. I don't care if you just heard God's voice yesterday. You keep maturing in him and you're going to continue to hear him more and more, because at the end of the day, this is not about competition. At the end of the day, this is about God using you to glorify his kingdom. And where he takes you, that is between you and the Lord. Don't let anybody come and tell you you don't operate in the prophetic. Whether God called you to be a prophet or to prophesy, it's a difference. Yes, it is. But either way, speak it with confidence, knowing who God called you to be. And don't let anybody diminish your gifts, because God said he is maturing you in him. The more you grow in him, the more precise that gift is going to be. So I need y'all. I don't care if your gift is singing. I don't care if it's talking, walking, shouting, preaching, whatever God called you to do. Continue to operate in that gift. Don't let anybody diminish your gift. Don't let anybody tell you God didn't call you. You be confident in who God called you to be. I love y'all, and I'll be back with another word from the Lord.